it's not going.
So welcome everybody to Hope Ministries in our lounge. And what have we got for you today?
So welcome everyone. So we are going to start off and kick off today about walking through the storm, which is what we were referring to on our previous podcast about just, it happens whether we want it or not. It's going to happen. What do we do when we walk through the storm is what's going to qualify us as to when you are a godly person, whether it's going to be sort of a mountain around the same mountain experience, or whether you're going to go through with complete and utter faith and keeping our eyes focused on Jesus. So I'll get over to you.
And today we're actually reading from Matthew, generally sort of chapter 14.
22 to 36.
22 to 36.
Well, let's refer to that because we do want to keep this a short podcast. So let's refer to Matthew 14, 22 to 36, which is where Matthew records how Peter walked on the water towards Jesus. But you wanted to make a few points, don't you?
Yeah, so it's all about, as we know, Peter, and for you that obviously know the Bible, it's great. But for those who don't, it's all about focus. Where is my focus when I'm going through a storm?
That's right.
Are you looking, are you sort of, are you worried, fixated on the actual problem? Or do you actually have your focus on Jesus? So holding his hand out saying, come. So that is actually the test of this whole this whole Matthew 14 is the Chosen depicts the other disciples. If you've seen the Chosen video that's of Jesus, I urge you to go and watch that as well if you've never seen it. But it actually depicts the disciples discouraging Peter from stepping out. So when we're all in the boat and we're worried and we're scared and we're fearful, we got no money, we got, how are we going to pay the next bills that are coming in? How are we going to
deal with sickness, anything, relationships?
How do we get the kids to the doctors? And how do I rectify the broken relationship between my sister, my brother, my mum, my dad? We've got our eyes fixed firmly on that problem. But in the Chosen, even Peter, it actually shows that they actually discouraged him from actually getting out of the boat, saying, stay in the boat, Peter, you can't get out of the boat. Well, actually, when you're going through the storm, the people around us are very important. It's really important who you hang out with when you're actually going through a storm.
Remember, Job did the same thing, like his friends were sitting with him for 7 days in total silence, but very soon after that...
How would you sit around for 7 days in silence? I mean...
No, 7 days silence will be the end of me. But I was just thinking with these friends, they were good friends. They came over to him and they sat with him for 7 days in silence. And then even after that, they started saying, and was it his wife that said, just curse God and die? So I think, we have a choice whether we're going to fix our focus firmly on Jesus. And it's a bit like when we see him, we don't see the storm. When we are fixed firmly on his face, we don't see what happens around us. But isn't it that easy to, even when your support network is sitting in the boat saying, don't go, and you actually want to go, you step out onto the water and for a while you actually had your focus on Jesus, but then suddenly these waves and the winds might even get worse. Isn't it just typical? It might get worse. And then rather you're going to choose fear, pardon me, or you're going to choose faith. And I think this is where we have come to when you decide what you want to do, you're going to take his hand or you're going to sink.
So believe me, take his hand. I would prefer to take his hand. So keep our eyes firmly on the Lord. Don't be distracted by anything or anyone.
That's true.
So, it's easy so much to be distracted. Oh, but if this, is done this way, if I do it this way, if I go and borrow this amount of money, I'll solve our problems. if the Lord tells you that is the answer to what you do and you're in total agreement, then yes, that's from the Lord. But if it's something you're doing on your own, don't do it.
No. So I think the lessons are, we want to keep this quite practical, is like fear will sink you, but faith releases the supernatural. And you choose. By where you focus, you choose whether you're going to give into fear or whether you're going to give into faith. So,
yep. And can I just summarize?
Yes,
I think I've got the summarize job.
David's going to have the last word.
So in the New Testament, Peter stands as a reassuring example of Christ's forgiving grace for those who know they failed him. And that's me. I know I've failed him.
We all do.
Yeah. And of the way Christ can graciously restore and use such people for his glory in spite of their failings.
Wow, that's good. That's so powerful. Well, we hope that blessed you, and we're going to see you on our next podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Blessings, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.